Madden NFL 22. It's the biggest game of the year and the biggest sporting spectacle on planet Earth. Today from SoFi Stadium, in front of an incredible fan base of Rams and Bengals who made the trip here. They both had to spend an average of over $10,000 per Super Bowl ticket. Tonight's game features the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals from Los Angeles, California. Nick Rice in hand for Super Bowl 56 between the Rams and the Bengals in what should be a fantastic football game. Here is the coin toss, and that toss has been won by way of what appears to be the Cincinnati Bengals. We don't have any complete word, but the Bengals and the Rams meet in a pivotal football game, as nobody before the season expected any of these two teams to be here today, but that's the case for the club out of Los Angeles, which won the NFC West as the 4 seed. Same goes with the AFC North champion Cincinnati Bengals, who went 10-7 during the regular season. Glad you're with us. Evan McPherson, the Bengals rookie kicker, a draft pick out of the University of Florida, is just about ready to get this one started. Sean McVay, the young but emerging superstar coach for the LA Rams, is in his second Super Bowl. Meanwhile, in his third year, Zach Taylor, after 2 abysmal seasons with the Bengals as head coach, he has brought the sophomore quarterback Joe Burrow to the precipice of a championship. The Bengals have never in their history won a Super Bowl championship. Brandon Powell, the 4-year pro from the University of Florida, will receive the kickoff from Evan McPherson, and he brings it back from 2 yards deep. The Super Bowl is underway as Powell returns to the 20-yard line. Spilled by way of Sam Hubbard, the 4-year pro out of Ohio State. And to the field for the Rams goes the former longtime Detroit Lion quarterback who hadn't won a playoff game in his Lions career. That's Matt Stafford. 26 touchdowns to 10 interceptions throughout the course of his final year in Detroit. Meanwhile, with the Rams, he finished top 3 in the league in passing yards and touchdowns, 41 TDs, but he did throw a league high alongside Jacksonville quarterback Trevor Lawrence, 17 interceptions, which was a big proponent to them not earning the 1 seed, but instead falling to the 4 seed. With 2 receivers in the game, they'll go to the run. Outside to Akers to begin the game. The Bengals blitz inside. Akers races to the outside, and the Rams pick up 17 and a first down. Cam Akers, who was injured almost all of the 2021-22 regular season, well, he steps right in front of Sony Michel and picks up the first down. The tackle from Bengals linebacker Marcus Bailey. The LA Rams offense, with now that new component of Cam Akers in the running game, already is a top 5 unit throwing the ball. Now they have that extra unit in the offense. Here's Stafford on a 1st and 10. His first completion of the Super Bowl is a gain of 8 to the tight end. Complete to Tyler Higbee, and he is near a first down for Los Angeles. The Rams, led by head coach Sean McVay, scored just over 27 points per game in the 2021 regular season. That was 7th in the NFL. 4 receivers in the game, and Stafford is back to pass on 2nd down and 2, and he shoots this one out of bounds. Matthew Stafford, a 13-year NFL veteran from the University of Georgia, was given all sorts of firepower offensively for this playoff run, including, most notably, the veteran from LSU who was acquired by way of a trade from Cleveland. That was Odell Beckham, and he has joined an already loaded receiving corps, even without Deshaun Jackson, as first-team All-Pro Cooper Kupp leads the way. 3rd and 2, Stafford fires to aforementioned Cooper Kupp, gain of 9 and a first down. Chidobe Awuzie, 5-year man from Colorado, as you see there. He makes the stop for Cincinnati after the 3rd down conversion for the Rams. Los Angeles, a 44% 3rd down offense, goes to the air and finds one of the most electric receivers for a single season in NFL history, Cooper Kupp. And by many people's estimation, he is one of the best receivers in recent memories, Cooper Kupp. Here is Stafford, who fires to Higbee over the middle. and that pass completion gains 6. Meanwhile, the Rams are up against a Cincinnati defense which has struggled all year against the pass, but ironically, they have picked a pretty good time to play like a top 5 defense, that being in the postseason, as they completely shut down Patrick Mahomes in the second half of the AFC Championship game. Stafford unloads to Akers over the middle. That is a first down pickup for the Rams, as Los Angeles comes right out of the gates with a fantastic drive against Zach Taylor and that Cincinnati defense. 1st and 10 from the Cincinnati 34. Rams out of the empty formation on 1st and 10 are up against that Bengals nickel package. Matthew Stafford with the 4-man rush. He gets rid of it short to Higbee, who has been a favorite target for Matthew Stafford early. He gained 6. Andrew Whitworth, who has been in and out of the Rams lineup with injuries this season, he is shaken up here. The tackle is made by Pratt, and as we see Whitworth head to the sideline, a big proponent of the Rams' Super Bowl run in 2018, which was thwarted by New England in the Super Bowl. Well, they are without his services yet again on that offensive line. Los Angeles, even with Whitworth in and out throughout the playoffs, have put together some terrific performances. They came back in the NFC title against the San Francisco 49ers and won the game in a nail-biter. They got some big breaks, including a dropped interception throughout the course of that fourth quarter en route to the win. Stafford settles for the safety valve and completes the first down throw of 5 yards to Higbee, who has been a huge first down chain mover for this offense early with 4 receptions for 25 yards. He had 61 grabs for 560 yards and 5 touchdowns in the 2021 season. 1st and 10. Bengals bring a 4-man rush as Stafford finds the newly acquired Odell Beckham Jr. And for Stafford, who's 7 for 8 on this opening drive, he just continues to pick apart that Bengals secondary. And there is a glimpse into what made them just the 4 seed in the AFC playoffs, that Cincinnati secondary. They were 26th against the pass, was Cincinnati this season. 1st and 10, they'll go back to the ground. The Bengals defensively can't seem to even slow this offense down. Akers races to the 4 for a gain of 8. Jesse Bates III, 4-year emerging safety from Wake Forest, records the tackle, which saves a Los Angeles touchdown. The Rams have 2nd and 2 from the Bengal 4. This is the 11th play of this fantastic LA drive. Stafford is back to pass. At the 12-yard line, he throws, and Kupp is in the end zone. It's caught for a Los Angeles touchdown. There was all sorts of questions going into the year whether or not Detroit was the reason for Stafford's postseason woes throughout the course of his illustrious dozen years in the NFL. The former first overall pick in his first season joins the Los Angeles Rams and certainly proves a lot of naysayers wrong, knocking out Tom Brady in the postseason and has taken the lead in the Super Bowl against the Cincinnati Bengals. 11 plays, 80 yards in nearly 4 minutes. That was a phenomenal drive for the Rams quarterback, and Los Angeles goes the distance. They've got the early lead. Cincinnati's defense was a paltry 17th in points allowed, and as mentioned, 26th against the pass. So they certainly had all sorts of troubles throughout the year and were maybe even worse inside of the red zone. Opponents scored touchdowns 60% of the time. And Los Angeles, they did it all on that opening drive. Stafford was 8 for 9 in completions. He spread the ball around to guys like Beckham, Higbee, and also the touchdown recipient and All-Pro Cooper Kupp. Then the Rams also employed a pretty impressive dose of the running game throughout that opening drive. That kickoff is down for a touchback by Stanley Morgan Jr., 3-year man out of Nebraska. Joe Burrow, otherwise Joe Cool, a lot like Joe Namath of the Jets. He is one of the most confident quarterbacks in the NFL. He is currently off to one of the great starts for a quarterback in NFL history. We had never seen a first overall draft choice less than 2 years later represent his team in the Super Bowl. That has never happened before. The man who has thrown 4 touchdowns to 2 picks in the playoffs. Part of the big reason for why many peg that he should have future great success in the NFL is that Joe Burrow is doing this with an offensive line that's been highly scrutinized this year. 1st and 10, he's hit as he throws and finds Jamar Chase, the superstar rookie from LSU, gains 8 on his first grab of the game. But part of the offensive line woes, as mentioned, is that Joe Burrow was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. 51 times he was dropped this season, and in the playoffs he was dropped 9 times against Tennessee, another couple against Kansas City. He has been very much pressured throughout the year. He's hit as he throws again on 2nd down. It's incomplete over the middle to Higgins, and a great job in the secondary prevents a long passing play from Burrow on 2nd down. Knocked away by the veteran Eric Weddle of Los Angeles. 2:45 to play in the first quarter. It's 3rd and 2 on the Bengals' opening drive. Play fake from Burrow, and he's back to pass. And he does complete the first down, but Miller jars the ball loose, and it's recovered by Taylor Rapp at the 31-yard line. A big mistake by the Bengals tight end Drew Sample, number 89, and the Los Angeles defense delivers in this first quarter. First turnover of the Super Bowl, and it gives the Rams some great field position. This couldn't have been a worse start for Cincinnati early, as the Bengals, who finished as the 4th seed in the AFC, are off to a paltry start with the touchdown given up, and the Rams are in perfect position for a touchdown again. Los Angeles scores TDs in 60% of their red zone trips. That's top half in the league, and the Rams are just the first down away from the red zone here. 1st and 10. Another run. This is the 3rd carry of the game, and Akers is buried for a loss by the young linebacker out of Wyoming, Logan Wilson, number 55. Cincinnati was a top 5 run defense in the regular season, 102.5 run yards per game allowed for Cincinnati. And that was really in large part, even though they've been manned by committee at that linebacker spot. Up front, Trey Hendrickson, a top 5 pass rusher with 14 sacks, and also a terrific run stopper for them too. He has been a big proponent of them playing well against the run this year. 2nd and 11, Stafford fires to Cooper Kupp, who makes a man miss and picks up the first down. Jermaine Pratt makes the tackle. First down, Los Angeles. Well, Cooper Kupp came out of small school Eastern Washington University and has turned into a superstar. Now, for those Los Angeles fans from back when he was drafted, now in his 5th NFL season, this was something maybe even the most loyal of fans couldn't have seen quite coming, the type of numbers he'd put up, but Kupp has always had that sort of potential. Stafford off his back foot throws it away. He finished the regular season with the Triple Crown, the league lead in catches with 145, yards with 1,947, and also had 16 touchdown grabs. Those are numbers that even the great Jerry Rice, maybe the best player in NFL history, couldn't put together in a single season. Cooper Kupp did that for an offense that has other playmakers at wide receiver who certainly deserve their fair share of attention. That 2nd down run reaches the 6-yard line for a bell cow in this game in K-Makers, 2nd-year pro from Florida State. But Cooper Kupp did this with Odell Beckham to his left, Van Jefferson to his right, a solid tight end and Tyler Higbee to go along with Bryson Hopkins. This team has all sorts of firepower around it, but Kupp has emerged as the best in the ball. Stafford under duress, fires into the end zone for Beckham. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Another phenomenal drive delivered by Matthew Stafford. And with just over a minute to go in the first quarter, with no doubt that ball is in the end zone, the Rams have added to what is a monster lead. Now, there absolutely is no doubt. We have a booth review, but this should stay as called on the field. The last time these two teams met, the Rams dismantled Cincinnati in 2019, 24-10. We have a very similar score brewing right now, with the Rams up by 2 touchdowns if the play remains as called on the field. And we've got a Ram touchdown, 13-0 Los Angeles, with just over a minute to go in the first. A phenomenal drive delivered by Matthew Stafford. He has certainly silenced his critics early in this game with the passing and also the outstanding job from Cam Akers to put him in very manageable down and distance situations. 5-play, 31-yard drive, over a minute, 35 seconds. Well, Joe Burrow has had to mount a comeback in every round of the postseason except for the wild card round in a wire-to-wire win over the Raiders. But he had to avenge a comeback against Ryan Tannehill and the Titans, along with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. That was the most impressive deficit, I'd say, overcome in quite a while. Maybe since Patrick Mahomes came back down 24 against Houston a couple of years ago in the divisional round. He is such an unflappable player that no matter how far the Bengals have been behind this season, Joe Burrow is so confident and moxie that he can come back, he believes, from any deficit. But this is against a very good defense in the LA Rams, the #1 defense in football last season, and the Rams are top 6 in running defense this year. Short return, great upfield tackle from the youngster David Long as Morgan Jr. brings it back to the 14. And now Cincinnati brings their offense back out there. The Bengals have a +5 turnover margin going into the Super Bowl throughout the playoffs. So they were doing a great job avoiding the turnover and taking it away. A big component of their comeback against Kansas City was the turnover. But here, for the first time in the playoffs, they have to respond from a big giveaway here early, as the Bengals, on the last play, lost the fumble forced by linebacker Von Miller. Play fake from Burrow. They have yet to run the ball in this game, and that pass falls incomplete. 2 for 4 for 9 yards early. Former first overall pick out of LSU and Ohio State in Joe Burrow. Ironically, Joe Burrow, who's off to a rough completion start, led the NFL in completion percentage at 70% during the regular season. 2nd and 10. Running back releases against the blitz. Burrow's intercepted. Picked off at the 20-yard line by Long, and he is in the end zone. It's a pick 6 for David Long. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Let's check out the next-gen stats of that pick 6 from David Long, 3-year man from Michigan. All he did was slip through one Bengals tackle en route to the touchdown. 18.6 yards gained by Long after contact. And the Rams, if the Bengals continue this sort of start, the Rams may bring out the confetti in the halftime locker room. That's just how bad of a start it's been for Cincinnati. The Pro Bowl kicker out of Utah, Matt Gay, converted 98% of his PATs in the regular season and drills that one again. He's 3 for 3 to begin the Super Bowl. 21-0 LA in what is a de facto home game for the Rams. They're up by 3 scores over Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Just a disastrous start to the Super Bowl for Cincinnati. They were down 21-3 to Kansas City in the AFC Championship and are down 21-0 in the Super Bowl to Los Angeles. Standing deep to return for the Bengals is Stanley Morgan Jr. Kickoff from Gay. Taken at the goal line by Morgan. He has a convoy to the 15 and is spilled by Eric Weddle, the 15-year veteran from Utah, who is less than a month removed from being on his couch. And he led the playoff game against San Francisco in tackles en route to a play into the Super Bowl for Eric Weddle. What a turnaround for him, who was a longtime Charger, spent a few late years with Baltimore, and is now a NFC champion with the LA Rams. Amazing career for Eric Weddle, who was a perennial Pro Bowler, and as a Charger fan, I can talk about how Eric Weddle was really booted out of town after a dramatic incident in his final game. 1st and 10, the pass is intercepted. Picked off of the 40-yard line by Jalen Ramsey. And this game, unless the Bengals can turn it around quickly, this game may already be over. 21-0, and the Rams get the ball back on a sensational catch from Ramsey. And Eric Weddle had in his final game as a Charger at the half, back when they played in San Diego, Eric Weddle watched his daughter perform in the halftime festivities instead of follow his team into the locker room for the speech. That wound up being a pretty frustrating moment for everyone involved, fans and players, as he was let go. He was a real team leader for the Chargers, and he winds up in a position to win the Super Bowl for LA in 2021. Draw and a 2-yard gain to Akers. Another stop from the 3-year middle backer out of NC State and Jermaine Pratt. 21-0 Rams. Stafford tossed the touchdown to begin the game to Cooper Kupp. Odell Beckham reeled in his second touchdown pass. David Long recorded a pick six, and the third Ram takeaway of the quarter was on a diving interception from Jalen Ramsey. This may be the final play of the quarter. No, there's one more. Stafford's throw is incomplete. 10 for 13, 79 yards, and 2 touchdowns today for the 13-year man out of Georgia, Matthew Stafford. 3rd down and 7. The Rams were a blistering 44%, good for 7th in the NFL in 3rd down conversions. They need the 29. It should be noted, Matt Gay's long is beyond this distance in the regular season. Against the blitz, that throw is batted away. Knocked down by Chidobe Awuzie, 5-year man of Colorado. And now the Rams will settle for the Matt Gay field goal. This would be from 54. Three-year pro and a Pro Bowler out of Utah, out of the hold from John Wolford, and the snap from the Rams. Here is the kick from 54 for Gay, and it's no good. Well, if the Bengals need a spark to come back down 3 scores, that may be the play to do it. A missed field goal from 54 for Gay, and the Bengals take over with great field position. Well, it's still, it would be an absolutely incredible comeback, but if you can point to one thing to help spark a turnaround, it's putting Burrow back on the field with the short field after a turnover. 1st and 10, they'll close the quarter at their own 44-yard line. 3 receivers are in the game for Cincinnati who haven't run the ball once. Mixon releases. Burrow overthrows his intended target. 2 for 7, 9 yards and 2 interceptions. That quarter couldn't have been more lopsided. There's a look at the numbers. 33 run yards for the Rams, none for the Bengals. And at the end of one, the Rams lead the game by 3 touchdowns. Welcome back to Super Bowl 56. Nick Rice in hand out of a sellout crowd in front of fans who I'm sure were so anxious to make the game that, you know, the ticket prices are just a big proponent of the type of demand for this football game. So many people wanted to come out and see this, and it really is an incredible spectacle in front of SoFi Stadium. Stan Kroenke, the owner of the LA Rams, a part of a big-time stadium here for the Rams in the 2021 season. Completion to begin the second to Chase. After the NFC title win for the Rams, Kroenke was talking about the incredible turnaround for this city, as there were no fans allowed for the 2020 season for Los Angeles. And then they bring in all these superstars, and the Rams really debuted the Super Bowl venue of SoFi Stadium with an incredible game and a home atmosphere for them against Cincinnati. Burrow unloads over the middle to Chase. He's at the 40 and is wrapped up with a 34 for a gain of 21. Ramsey makes the stop. 1st down, Cincinnati, to the superstar rookie in Ja'Marr Chase. This should be a popular combination for years to come for the Cincinnati Bengals. It's the young duo of Ja'Marr Chase and Joe Burrow, which torched SEC defenses together at the University of Louisiana State, LSU. And now for the Cincinnati Bengals, they have been a sensation again. Burrow throws to the right for tight end C.J. Uzomah, 7-year man from Auburn. And that's an 8-yard gain as the Bengals have shown some life to begin the second quarter. What a difference a missed field goal can make, as after Gay hooks it to the right, the Bengals are just a few yards away from the red zone. 2nd and 2. The Bengals have yet to run the ball. Interesting play calling early from Cincinnati. 11th straight pass to begin the Super Bowl, and it's a first down to C.J. Uzomah. Out of bounds at the 11. The tackle from Nick Scott, and a gain of 15. First down, Cincinnati. And what's really scary about the AFC North and the NFL as a whole is that so many of these players making huge plays in the Super Bowl for Cincinnati are incredibly young and under contract for years to come. So this may not be the last time in this iteration of Burrow and Chase that we see them in the big game. Mixon, who has yet to tote the ball, he motions to the right. Ramsey's late to get over there. Burrow on 1st and 10 from the 11 is sacked for the first time in the game. That's Leonard Floyd. Loss of 7. Veteran from Georgia. As Burrow, part of the issue for him throughout the playoffs, while the offensive line has struggled, is the amount of time he holds on to the ball. And I'm sure that's something that he will develop over the course of his young career. Now entering the tail end of his 2nd full season in the National Football League. 2nd and 17, here's Burrow. 4-man rush against them. Burrow rolls to his left. And here he goes. He's at the 20, looks downfield, and his pass is knocked away. Matthew Stafford is jazzed and ready to retake the field for Los Angeles. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes in the first half. 21-0 Rams with 4:27 to play in this first half. Glad you're with us from SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, and a beautiful night out of Southern California for one of the biggest spectacles on planet Earth. 3rd and 17, it's a rush of 5. Joe Burrow fires over the middle, and it's caught by Morgan for a touchdown. Stanley Morgan had 2 catches for 11 yards the entire year, and here he is in a big moment, reeling in the first points of the game for Cincinnati. And the play calling has been crystal clear since snap 1 for Zach Taylor's bunch. While it didn't work out for him early, they have thrown the ball on every single play of this first half. And it was a rough start, but they have found their mojo now. Evan McPherson, his extra point is good, and after the 8-play, 57-yard drive of 2 minutes and 42 seconds, the Bengals enjoy 7 points. Glad you're with us. The Rams and the Bengals in a battle of 2 young but emerging coaches. There was Sean McVay and then Zach Taylor here. He has won as Zach Taylor only 34% of his games through 3 seasons in the NFL, but has pulled the Bengals into the Super Bowl against the Rams. Brandon Powell, 4-year man from Florida, stands 5 yards in the end zone for the Rams. McPherson swings the right leg, and here we go. Kickoff about 3 yards deep and down for a touchback. Very few could have imagined any of these teams making it to the Super Bowl, especially the Cincinnati Bengals, with the way that both Buffalo and Kansas City were playing in their respective conference, the AFC. It almost appeared as though that win for Mahomes and company was the AFC Championship game. But Cincinnati, a team that has been overlooked in the Super Bowl conversation essentially all season, they really showed just how good they are against Kansas City. We knew they were good after knocking out the top-seeded Titans, but it was their win against the Chiefs. Now, that has them thinking about potentially being the greatest one-season turnaround club in NFL history. That club in '88, Cincinnati, was a pretty good turnaround too. Tackle for loss by way of Jermaine Pratt back to the 24-yard line. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles, likewise, it was pretty shocking, especially with the sort of talent that returned for Tampa Bay. They essentially returned every single starter from their Super Bowl season, but the Buccaneers ran into just a buzzsaw. Los Angeles, they pressured Brady early, forcing him into some mistakes, and it just seemed as though that defense wasn't ready for Los Angeles. And then, of course, San Francisco was really the recipient of another big Rams performance. Big play to Cooper Kupp, 19 yards and a first down. Moved those chains for LA. Cooper Kupp magically runs over to the sideline to root on the fans. First down, Los Angeles. Moved those chains again to Cooper Kupp, the sensation from Eastern Washington. Mike Hilton made the stop for Cincinnati as the Rams have a first down. 3 receivers are in for LA from their own 43-yard line. Stafford looks to his right, throws. First down, pickup to the 46-yard line. Stafford is jazzed by how this team has started the game. Moved those chains out wide to, it appears, Odell Beckham Jr. No, that's Van Jefferson. First grab of the game for the second-year man from Florida. Van Jefferson had a fantastic rookie season, but Kupp has emerged as the primary target, really even the secondary target for Matthew Stafford in his second season. Jefferson had 50 grabs in the regular year. First and 10, Stafford goes deep again. There's Kupp. First down to the 36. 5 grabs for 59 yards and a touchdown for Kupp. Owuzie records the Cincinnati tackle. Clock is running, and that's just the way the Rams want it. 2:43 to play in the half. Rams 21, Bengals 7. Jefferson, Kupp, and Beckham are the 3 receivers. Stafford looks, throws, incomplete. 13 for 18, 118 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight for Matthew Stafford. Rams had a +2 turnover differential in the regular season and have a +2 turnover differential now. Second and 10 from the Bengals, 36-yard line. Scratch that, a +3 turnover differential. Empty. Second and 10 for Matthew Stafford. Rush is coming, and he is taken down by Sam Hubbard, the 4-year man out of Ohio State, with the sack. It's the first on the night for Cincinnati. Two minutes to go in the first half from the Super Bowl, and the Rams lead the Bengals 21-7. Los Angeles up against the team that has been the Cinderella season, the Cincinnati Bengals, and throughout their magical year, they have made some big plays in crucial moments. That was a pretty crucial play with the Sam Hubbard sack. They'll bring 4 onto Matthew Stafford on 3rd and 21. He flips it in the left flat. And this completion puts them right to the edge of field goal range for Gay. The tackle from Bates as he picks up about 8. And now the Rams up against the team that has not used a timeout yet. That's an interesting decision. They will bring out the field goal group on 4th and 13. Rams will use as much clock as they can. A listed 56-yarder for the man who just left a 54-yarder a bit short. It's a line drive from Gay, and that one's short too. 2 brutal Matt Gay misses gives the Bengals a chance to jump right back into the game. That Rams defense has taken away 3 Bengals passes, 2 on interceptions and 1 from a fumble forced by Von Miller. There's the pick 6 we saw there just a moment ago to David Long. as the Rams defense, with the acquisition of Von Miller, have turned into a much more dynamic group throughout this postseason run and have made life very difficult for Joe Burrow tonight. 1st and 10 from their own 46. The Bengals have the ball with a chance to trim that lead even more before the break. Burrow is hit as he throws. What an arm Burrow's got. And the jump ball, it's wheeled in by Higgins at the 5. Timeout, Zach Taylor in Cincinnati. What a play, mainly with 61 yards of air distance from Burrow, but it shouldn't be mistaken, the incredible catch from Higgins. His last 2 games, Higgins has been a home run threat for the Bengals with 199 yards on just 13 grabs. That one good for 49, sets him up with 1st and goal at the 5. Here's Burrow, sacked. Miller got him first, then Lloyd finished him off. Timeout, Cincinnati. 57 seconds remain in this second quarter. Second sack of the game from Los Angeles. But the Rams should be kicking themselves for the way that this second quarter has gone. The Bengals are 12 yards away from a 1-score football game. 2nd and goal. Burrow back to pass again. He flips it to his left, and Chase has that one knocked away by Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey, the first-team All-Pro from Florida State, is back as one of the league's best corners after a quick stint with Jacksonville, and he wanted out with the Jaguars. And now Jalen Ramsey is doing big things with the LA Rams and is on the doorstep of a Super Bowl. He'd feel nothing sweeter than the recorded interception of Joe Burrow in a game like this. Mixon motions out on 3rd and goal from the 12. Rams bring 5. Burrow is back and throws into the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown. Joe Mixon over Darius Williams, and the Bengals are back in the game. Great coverage in the end zone, but an even better throw to the back corner in front of Darius Williams. Joe Mixon hasn't run the ball once tonight, but the Pro Bowl tailback is in with a receiving touchdown, and the Bengals are back within 1 score. What a comeback, and a tale of 2 different quarters. Rams couldn't have played better until the field goal to close the first quarter was missed by Gay, and they couldn't have played a whole lot worse, especially on the offensive end, where they couldn't really get anything going, and also had another miss from Matt Gay on special teams. And now with 47 seconds to go in the half, the Bengals have all sorts of life, feeling just as confident as they did at the half of the AFC Championship, I'm sure, when the Chiefs were shut out of the goal line to close the half with Tyreek Hill. Evan McPherson stands in back for the kickoff. Brandon Powell in the end zone. Rams have 3 timeouts in 47 seconds. With Sean McVay as the head coach and Matthew Stafford as the quarterback, that's plenty of time for the Rams. Powell from the 2. This will chew up a few extra seconds. He's down to the 24 with the Bengals tackle by Clay Johnston, second-year man from Baylor. 43 seconds left in the half. Matthew Stafford, 14 for 19, 126 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's given another chance late in the half to orchestrate a scoring drive. Now, part of the second quarter woes can't be put on the quarterback with the 2 misses from Matt Gay. While they have been long field goals, certainly they were makeable, and now the Rams, already with 6 points left on the board, really by this stage with the momentum on Cincinnati, would love to at least get 3 out of the final few minutes, or seconds rather, of the half. With 3 timeouts, Stafford is back to pass. He's under duress immediately and sacked at the 11-yard line, and DJ Reader may have just closed out this half. We'll see if the Rams even take another snap. That's a 14-yard loss to Reader. We all knew Trey Hendrickson was pretty good at rushing the quarterback, but we've seen big plays from Sam Hubbard and DJ Reader in this quarter to all but shut down the Rams' offense. Rams are lined up on the ball, but they may not even take a snap. Well, they will have one more before the half. It's a run to Akers, and the first flag has been thrown tonight. Rice and Hopkins, second-year tight end from Purdue. Penalties declined, and we've reached the half, with the Los Angeles Rams clinging to a 7-point lead in the Super Bowl. Times they'll avoid any sort of runs to sort of shake things up for that Rams defense. And for some rhyme or reason, even 3 turnovers hasn't shaken them a bit from their game plan. Stanley Morgan is deep to return, the man who reeled in the latest Burrow touchdown pass. And he has down the ball for a touchback. Cincinnati sets up shop at their own 25 to begin the second half. Joe Burrow tonight has been spectacular since the early pick 6 to David Long, and has really willed this team right back into the game. I'm sure those fans in attendance tonight were kicking themselves seeing the Rams jump out to a 21-0 lead, thinking we have just witnessed one of the great first quarter routes of all time. This may be over before it even gets started. But the Bengals dominate the second quarter and have a chance to tie the game on this drive. 4-man rush. Burrow complete to the tight end. That's a first down to Sample and a gain of 12. Von Miller, the veteran linebacker in his 11th season out of Texas A&M, he makes the stop. Well, certainly it's a good game plan considering the Rams are 6th against the run, but 22nd in the regular season against the pass. So the Bengals, they've just avoided the run altogether. Another pass for Burrow on 1st and 10. It's intercepted. A bad pass right to the linebacker. Takes it all the way for a touchdown. Troy Reeder with a pick 6 for LA. Well, that pass didn't stand much of a chance. It was intended for Tyler Boyd, but Reeder, who was buzzing under the route, wasn't even in position to knock it away, yet Burrow throws it right to him. And the Bengals have committed their 4th turnover of the ball game, and you just wonder if the Bengals, even a team as savvy in late game situations as the Bengals, even if they have enough ability to come back from 4 turnovers today. Matt Gay is on for the extra point. It's good. 28-14 Los Angeles. And that's really the only number that matters in this football game. Now there is a secondary stat, which is 0 runs for the Bengals, 5 for the Rams. 0 runs. So you just wonder, even though Joe Burrow has proven to be that confident and that good as a second-year quarterback, you just wonder if the play calling with the lack of runs, if maybe that has hurt this passing game to some extent. I mean, ultimately the Rams have played like a sensational defense, and it almost doesn't even matter the play calling with these guys running around like that. One of those picks Jalen Ramsey got was just incredible, but this really has to be pretty frustrating. Morgan heads to the sideline. It doesn't do much. Long wraps him up at the 11. And with 6:22 to play in the third, the Bengals have the ball. Joe Burrow, who has thrown 3 interceptions tonight, has another chance, but down by 14, and the Rams offense pretty rested and ready. You just wonder if this may be one of the most important drives of the game for him. Scoring a touchdown seems to be the only result that the Bengals have to have in order to stay in the game with how great Stafford has played on offense tonight. 1st and 10, Burrow with 3 interceptions. He'll go right back to the air. On 1st down, he unloads deep downfield. Chase dropped it. Incomplete. The pass couldn't have been any better to Chase. The Bengals have thrown for more yards today and even have more first downs than Los Angeles. But the Rams have a 28-14 home lead in Super Bowl 56. Chase motions to the left, and for the first time tonight, the Bengals have run the ball 2 yards to Mixon. Pro Bowl running back out of Oklahoma, finished top 5 in the NFL in runs, yards, and touchdowns. He also had 3 more scores in the receiving game during the regular season. And even reeled in a touchdown from Burrow in the Super Bowl. As you can see there, the play calling is 19 passes to 1 run. We'll see if he's utilized more in the second half. Burrow looks deep, and on 3rd and 8, he's going for it all. It is in and out of the hands of Higgins, knocked away by the 4-year cover man from Alabama, Birmingham, and Darius Williams. It's incomplete, and the Bengals will punt. This, in fact, is the first punt for any team tonight. This is the 13-year man from the University of Cincinnati, Kevin Huber. 46.5 yards of punt, a long of 61 in the regular season. He sends it away. This will net about 47, and this return gains about 1, maybe 2. A tackle from Eli Apple as Powell is dropped right away. Stafford's numbers, as you can see, have been very impressive tonight. He has been the winning formula and the early favorite for the Super Bowl MVP. Now that defense has 4 takeaways, but it's been by committee. Stafford has done almost everything himself for the Rams tonight. 5:37 to go in the 3rd. The Rams hoping to win their first Super Bowl since the Greatest Show on Turf days, where they beat the Titans in Super Bowl 34. That was back in 1999. 6-man rush. Stafford goes deep, and he's intercepted. Right into the hands of the Bengals, back to the 38-yard line. Trey Waynes. First turnover for the Rams tonight, and Cincinnati desperately needed a Waynes play like that. Intended for Higbee, Waynes, 7-year man from Michigan State, jumped right in front of him. Burrow's numbers have not been spectacular tonight. In the playoffs, he has thrown 6 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, 2 TDs to 3 picks today. But with 5:31 to go in the 3rd, the Bengals' Joe Burrow is right back in position to get into this game at the 39-yard line. 1st and 10. Second run of the game for Joe Mixon, and another short carry, dropped by 3-year man Nick Scott. Alongside Aaron Donald, the first-team All-Pro who has been very quiet today. One of the 2 first-team All-Pros on that Rams defense, joining Jalen Ramsey. Meanwhile, for the Bengals offense, they were catapulted by 2 Pro Bowlers, running back Joe Mixon and wide receiver Jamar Chase. Slant, and Ramsey hammers the man who reels it into the 33-yard line, gain of 4 to Tyler Boyd. (28-14) Rams. Under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd. It's 3rd and 5. The Bengals were just 40% on 3rd down conversions in the regular season against the blitz. Burrow dances. He's under duress and sacked by Nick Scott. And with the field goal kicking such a problem for Matt Gay, you wonder if the Bengals will even attempt this sort of field goal. A 57 from McPherson, that after the Nick Scott sack. Out of the hold from Brandon Allen. This is a 57-yard field goal, and they're going for it. And McPherson missed it. The field goal kicking, despite the perfect field conditions and the weather conditions, it doesn't matter. All 3 of these kicks have been short. It's almost as if the Madden sliders aren't quite right. But our score remains 28-14 Rams. Late in the 3rd quarter of a thrilling back-and-forth game. Rams jumped out to a 21-0 lead after 1. Burrow throws 2 touchdowns in the 2nd to trim the edge to 1 score. But then the Rams linebacker in number 51, Troy Reeder, records the team's 2nd pick 6 of the game. And now the Rams have the ball back with a 28-14 lead. And by this stage of the game, if they can score right now and get 1 more stop, that may be enough to win it. Stafford throws to his left, and the toe-tapping Cooper Kupp makes the grab in front of Hilton for a Rams first down. Rams are one of the 2 teams in Los Angeles joining the LA Chargers, and the Rams got first. The Chargers are hoping with Justin Herbert that they've got next. And we'll see if that's the case. 1st and 10 from the 43 of Cincinnati. Stafford hands, and Akers runs into the second level and gains 4. Spilled by Logan Wilson, number 55. That's his 4th stop of the game. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Well, you know that those two have the sort of chemistry to still be on the same page despite the frustrations here in Super Bowl 56. We'll see what sort of late game heroics they have up their sleeves as they trail by 2 touchdowns on the road in LA. The Rams have had the momentum almost the entire game and have a chance to jump out to a 3-score lead here in the second half. 2nd and 6. Stafford scans the field at the 48-yard line, and he launches. He had a wide-open Cooper Kupp on the play. He overthrows him. It's incomplete. Oh, yes, this is the final game of the regular season, but there still is plenty of bulletin board material for these two quarterbacks who just seem in the second half to be a little bit off tonight. 3rd and 6. Stafford goes deep again and overshoots Odell Beckham. Really just a perplexing 3rd quarter for these two quarterbacks, knowing that a Super Bowl is in the balance. We'll see if the field goal kicking gets better here. 56 yards from Matt Gay. Out of the hold from Wolford. This would make it a 3-score game. Gay gets plenty of distance on it, but the kick is no good. And these two guys are combined 0 for 4. Now all these kicks are beyond 50, but Gay missed it. And now the Bengals get the ball back. Joe Burrow, 11 for 21 for 150 yards, has 2 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. 3:20 to play in the third, and the 3rd quarter story tonight is the missed field goals. Nobody can seem to put the other out due to the misses on special teams. So 3:20 left in the third. The Bengals have the ball back with 1st and 10. Rams won their last meeting 24-10. They're in front in this one 28-14. Burrow settles for the safety valve. There's the tight end Z.J. Uzomah. He is wrapped up by way of Leonard Floyd after the gain of 7. Jones, Ernest Jones, rookie from South Carolina, binds on the stop for Los Angeles. Rams have outgained the Bengals by 10, but lead the game on the scoreboard by 14. Play fake to Mixon. Burrow throws to his left. Come back to Chase. Gain of 17 on the catch from Chase. 1st down, Cincinnati. The rookie from LSU reeled in 81 balls for 1,455 yards and 13 touchdowns. Those marks top 5 in the league. He also trailed only Deebo Samuel for the most yards per catch in the regular season, 18.0 yards per catch. That one gains 17 and a 1st down. Cincinnati ball at the LA 30-yard line with just under 3 minutes to go in the third. 4-man rush. Burrow fires over the middle, and it's reeled into the 16. 1st down with Spain on the turf. It's a 1st down hook up to Boyd. No, Higgins. T. Higgins with his 2nd grab of the game. An already struggled offensive line down Spain here late in the 3rd quarter for Cincinnati. Nick Rice in hand here from SoFi Stadium in Super Bowl 56 between the LA Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincy dispatched Las Vegas, not Oakland, Las Vegas, Tennessee, and Kansas City to get here. Meanwhile, the LA Rams knocked out division rival San Francisco to cap off their playoff run, with Tampa Bay also going down against the LA Rams too. Deep drop, and Burrow throws to C.J. Uzomah. Dropped by Reeder at the 2. It's 1st and goal. They're on the doorstep of being right back in the game. Reeder, 3-year man from Delaware, closes the door on a touchdown. Three receivers in for the Bengals on 1st and goal. It's a run to Mixon, who dives towards the goal line but has been stopped about a half-yard short. Rookie Ernest Jones makes the stop for the Rams. And while they are a very experienced defense is the Los Angeles Rams, one of their starters is Ernest Jones, who is a rookie out of South Carolina, taken in the 3rd round of the NFL draft and has been a huge boost late in the season for LA. Quick drop and Burrow throws another touchdown, his 3rd of the game. This to C.J. Uzomah. Joe Burrow has been one of the most incredible stories in the NFL for the 2021 season. And we've seen some great stories this year. From Derrick Henry's incredible pace running the ball, a record-breaking pace in the first half of the regular season from this year, the biggest season in NFL history with the 17 games. We have seen some miraculous final curtain call runs for great quarterbacks such as Ben Roethlisberger of Pittsburgh and Tom Brady of Tampa Bay, who have both announced their retirement. Sean Payton, with what many people didn't believe to be his final year in New Orleans, just might be, as he is not going to return, it appears, for this coming season in the NFL. And also, on Pater, we've seen great stories out of the NFC. Trayvon Diggs of the Dallas Cowboys led the NFL in receptions. Cooper Kupp of the Rams was the Triple Crown winner in receiving for the regular season. Breakout year for the Colts running back Jonathan Taylor, along with breakout star Joe Burrow of the Bengals. Great stories in the 2021 season, and I would be remiss to not add the fact that, another one of those great stories throughout the season was, and it kind of bothers me to say this, but, the Dallas Cowboys, many people love the Cowboys from all across the country. They are, I hate to say America's team, but I think a more accurate term would be America's must-watch in concerns to how everybody seems to talk about them whenever they win any game. And Dallas seems to have a roster that's good enough to win in the future, with Micah Parsons as a terrific rookie and out of Penn State, and another couple young guys who is set to return, Dak Prescott under contract. 1st and 10, Stafford from his end zone goes deep, and that's incomplete. We're still at a one-score game despite the incredible start from the Rams. Bengals have scored 21 of the game's last 28 points, and they're down only 7 late in the 3rd. 1:31 to play in the 3rd period. It's 2nd and 10, Los Angeles. Cooper Kupp is in the slot for LA. Stafford gets rid of it from the 4. Slant to Kupp, and who's covering that? 17 yards on the catch, tripped up by the veteran Mike Hilton, 5-year man of Ole Miss. 1st down, Kupp. That's his 7th grab of the game. And what's amazing for Los Angeles is that defenses know that Stafford is targeting Cooper Kupp, and he still makes these catches. He has beaten guys like Jerry Rice, Calvin Johnson, Lance Allworth. You name the best receiving yards per game players in NFL history, Kupp is right there with all of them in the all-time season annals. Stafford flips it to his left, and that throw is incomplete. Just a phenomenal year for Kupp. And the Bengals mark them down as one of the host of teams that haven't been able to even slow him down. He's the first guy in NFL history to go over a dozen games with 90 yards receiving in every single one of those games. His streak was incredible. And he really proved himself as the best receiver in football with how he played in that divisional round win over Tampa Bay. And he coupled it with another strong century mark receiving day for him against San Francisco in the NFC Championship. Screen pass, and that one snuffed out right away. So Stafford does the smart thing and throws the ball into the ground. That brings up 3rd and 10. Some big names have received head coaching jobs in the NFL. and none seems to be more consequential than former offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett of the Green Bay Packers receiving the head job with the Denver Broncos. And now he is one of those guys that is in the front running. It appears that if Aaron Rodgers is to leave Green Bay, he would join the Denver Broncos for next season or the year after, considering he's under contract for another year or two. Stafford finds Cooper Kupp again. The Bengals didn't see him. First down, Los Angeles. Let's check out that deep ball again from Next Gen Stats. A deep crosser for Cooper Kupp, and the Bengals lost track of him. And that's the last guy you want to lose track of downfield. 56 yards of air distance. And certainly it shouldn't be forgotten the reception from Kupp, who's now at over 100 yards today, 8 for 130 in a score, with toe tapping alongside the grab with two hands. Slant for 7. There's Higbee for Los Angeles. A quiet night for Odell Beckham Jr. and Van Jefferson, but Cooper Kupp has been the star of the show. If he scores a touchdown, maybe he's got the inside track on Super Bowl MVP honors. This could be the final play, the third quarter for LA. 2nd and 4. Stafford is back. From the 25, he throws. Beckham's got it. First down, Rams. That to close the third. The tackle from Awuzie. And LA goes into the fourth up by 2 scores with 1st and goal from the 10. End of 3. The Rams are just 7 minutes away from the Super Bowl. They lead the Bengals by 7. This is Super Bowl 56 from SoFi Stadium. Welcome back. Nick Rice in hand for what should be an interesting fourth quarter if the Bengals can somehow make a play here at the goal line. The Rams have first down from the 10. It really is a goal to go. We'll see exactly where the chains are marked. And it appears that they can get a first down at about the 1-inch line. Stafford, who's already got a hat trick today. His head as he throws, that's incomplete. Rather, 2 touchdowns. The hat trick belongs to Burrow. 28-21 Rams to begin the fourth quarter. Cooper Kupp lines up in the left slot. He's caught 8 balls for 130 yards and a touchdown. 2nd and 10 for the Rams. It's a run. Here's Akers. Taken down to the 9. That's 9 carries for 40 yards tonight for the former Seminole, Cam Akers. And this, unless the Bengals can take the ball away here, this is a consequential drive for Cincinnati because Burrow and company will need to come back down 2 scores instead of 1. Third down from the 9-yard line. It's a slant to Beckham, who's about a yard away. Excellent tackle from Wilson. And now the Rams have a decision to make. It'd be really a knockout punch if the Rams could score a touchdown, but if they're stopped on a 4th down from the 1, and many teams have gone for it this year, there's Sean McVay thinking about it. Many teams have gone for it, and it's paid off for them. Even if they don't convert, the opponent has to go 99 yards. So the era of analytics will be on display here for Madden in the Super Bowl, and the Rams will bring out the field goal group. Wolford will hold. This is way shorter than even a PAT. Matt Gay, who has struggled tonight, makes his first kick of the game on field goal duties. He's 1 for 4. And now the Rams, with 6 minutes to go in the game, are up by 10. A very comfortable spot if you're playing anybody but the Bengals. But Cincinnati have been the cardiac comeback cats all season, and they've got 6 minutes to erase a 10-point deficit. We'll see if they can pull it off. If the Bengals don't score on this upcoming possession, their hopes of a comeback may be all but dashed. So this is a big upcoming drive for Zach Taylor's club. Stanley Morgan stands in the end zone, ready to return. Number 17 in his 3rd NFL season out of Nebraska. Here is the kickoff to the Bengals. Morgan at the 2. He's at the 15, makes a move, slips through a tackle, and crawls to the 30. A good return with a tackle by Long. 5:55 to go in the game, and this is the sort of play that you dream of as a quarterback down by 10 with the ball and a chance to win the Super Bowl. Burrow has thrown for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, and had he not tossed 3 interceptions, including 2 pick sixes in the game, that to Troy Reeder and David Long, maybe the Bengals have the lead right now. 1st and 10. Rams have outgained the Bengals 227 to 179, mainly with their edge on the ground. 1st and 10. Burrow against the rush. It's incomplete. He overthrows Uzuma. 16 for 27 for the man who led the NFL in 70% pass completions in the regular season. 16 for 27 is just 59%. So he has been just a bit off of his game tonight. And some of that may have to do with the play selection. 27 passes to only 3 runs. 4-man rush. Burrow, he heaves it deep. Yet again, another jump ball into single coverage, and the catch is made at the 11. 59 yards to Higgins, who has been a home run threat in the second half. That catch takes a second look by Next Gen Stats. A pretty good cover man to beat downfield Jalen Ramsey with a throw of over 60 yards of air distance. What a play. Darius Williams, was on the coverage. 70 yards of air distance to T. Higgins. The Bengals almost get it all back on one play. It's 1st down from the 11. Completion to the 7 to Higgins. A rare short throw to the second-year man from Clemson, who was a 1,000-yard receiver, and he was 8th in the NFL in yards per game. 77.9 for Higgins. 2nd and 6. Burrow and the Bengals have the ball at the 7. Rams line up in a 3-man front this time. Mixon releases. Burrow is back. And his pass, with a flag thrown, here we go. Aaron Donald commits roughing the passer, and that brings up 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. Big moment here for Cincinnati. First and goal from the 1-yard line. With Hubbard as the fullback, they'll fake it to Mixon, and Burrow is sacked. It's the rookie, Ernest Jones, to bring him down. In Super Bowl 19, the Miami Dolphins had the fewest carries by a team in the big game. That was 9 runs against the 49ers. The Bengals have only attempted 3 runs tonight. 2nd and goal from the 10. Burrow is hit as he throws. That's incomplete. He is 19 for 31 in what has been a heavy workload for the former 1st overall pick out of both LSU and Ohio State. 3rd and goal from the 10. 4:08 remaining in the ballgame. Rams line up in a nickel defense here on 3rd and goal. This is Burrow. 4-man rush for the Rams. Burrow is under duress, and Aaron Donald's got him in the 19. It's a sack from Aaron Donald. 5th sack of the game for that Ram defense. Aaron Donald, a multi-year defensive player of the year in the NFL, is still in his 8th NFL season, one of the best interior linemen in the game and one of the best defensive linemen in NFL history. And his sack has put the Bengals out of a shot for a 7. Instead, McPherson is out for 3, and with 3:36 to go in the game, it's good. High drama here from Los Angeles. It's anyone's game with the Rams up by 7. 31-24 in a shootout between Burrow's Bengals and Stafford's Rams. A little more points scored this go-around by the Rams with Matthew Stafford than with Jared Goff against New England. That was the lowest scoring Super Bowl in NFL history, won by the Patriots 13-3 back in Super Bowl 53, I believe. Here is the kickoff, taken at the goal line, brought out by Powell to the 10. He gets a convoy and is hammered at the 21-yard line. Clay Johnston makes the stop. And with 3:32 to go in the fourth quarter, the Rams have a chance to ice it right here. The favorite for Super Bowl MVP, Cooper Kupp, has 8 catches for 130 yards and a touchdown. No better way to cap off a historic season for Cooper Kupp than with a Super Bowl MVP award, and he is 3:32 away from doing just that. 1st and 10 from their own 21, Ram ball with the lead and a chance to ice the game. The Bengals defense was top 5 against the run in the regular season. 4-man rush. Stafford is back to pass. He is under pressure and sacked. B.J. Hill, 4-year man from NC State. And while Stafford had a chance to etch himself into immortality with a game-winning drive right here, he begins the possession with a sack, and it almost on a single play, it almost puts them out of any position to win it on this drive. This would be a miraculous job converting here. They've got 2nd and 24 from the shadow of their own goalpost. From the 7, 2nd down. Here's Stafford with the handoff. Akers sweeps to his right, hit by Bell, and taken down at the 14. There's Zach Taylor. A complete turnaround season for him. And really, he has developed a young but emerging nucleus too, with Burrow, Chase, Mixon, all under 28 years old, including Chase as just a rookie, and they're all Pro Bowl caliber players throughout the year. Just a very young and talented roster for Zach Taylor and Cincinnati. Final play before the 2-minute warning for the Rams. This would be a backbreaker, 3rd and 17. Stafford is back to pass. He's looking. He's under pressure and is going deep. This would be for all but the win, and it is caught by Beckham. Wow, what a play. 1st down, Los Angeles with 2 minutes to go. Odell Beckham on the long ball, and they're right in position to win the game. They really need only one more 1st down to ice it. 1st and 10 from the Bengal 23. Who could have imagined the way that they convert that? Timeout, Zach Taylor in Cincinnati. Just a backbreaker on the long ball from Odell Beckham. B.J. Hill sacks Matthew Stafford. It appears the Bengals will get the ball back with a chance for overtime. But then Odell Beckham, who was just an afterthought with Cleveland and really had been put out of the conversation for the top receivers, he still shows he's got it. Akers is hammered for a loss. Timeout, Cincinnati. And even if the Bengals stop him here, a made Matt Gay field goal may be all it takes to win the game. Logan Wilson's 6th tackle forces the Rams back into a 3rd and 14. Odell Beckham with maybe the biggest play of the game puts the Rams in position to take a near insurmountable 2-score lead. The win is at the 13-yard line. Here is the run, won't come close. Jermaine Pratt stuffs Akers in line of scrimmage. So the Rams will bring out Matt Gay, who has had a rough night. 1 for 4 on field goals. His lone make was from 18. This is a 44-yard attempt on the right hash out of the hole from John Wolford. This to all but win the game for the Rams. Here is the kick. It's on the way and good. Rams up 10 with just under 2 minutes to go. It certainly appears, in a look at the crowd, that the Rams have about 90% of the faithful here today from SoFi Stadium. certainly no shame in the amount of Bengals fans who have shown up, considering the average ticket price of the big game. 1:43 left in the fourth quarter. The Rams, outside of a miracle from Joe Burrow, will win their first Super Bowl since 1999, when Kurt Warner, Torrey Holtz, Isaac Bruce, and Marshall Faulk were ripping through NFL defenses as the NFL's best offense, one of the greatest offenses of all time. And while this offense isn't quite as good as that unit, they still are one of the league's best. What a hit on the special teams stop from Justin Hollins on the return from Morgan. With 1:40 to go in the game, the Bengals need a miracle here. T. Higgins was the miracle worker on the last drive. He's got over 100 yards receiving, in fact, more than Cooper Kupp tonight, who may have just been overshadowed on the big grab from Beckham. 1st and 10 from their own 19. This would be quite the comeback for the Bengals out of timeouts, needing 81 yards for a touchdown. It all comes down to this for the cardiac Bengals. 6-man rush. Burrow's going for it all right here. It's a jump ball, and it's knocked away. Williams deflects the ball from Higgins. Incomplete. Super Bowl 56 MVP awards. There's 3 that are right there in contention. Quarterback Matthew Stafford, wide receiver Cooper Kupp, and also the man who had the pick 6 to really get this thing going, David Long, who's been great in special teams too. That long ball is knocked away by the aforementioned David Long. Incomplete. He is really just their nickel corner, David Long. He's got a few pass breakups, 3 or 4 tackles, a pick 6 in the game. He has been terrific, but defenders almost never win the Super Bowl MVP award, especially with a total of 58 points scored in this football game. 2 tight ends are in for Cincinnati on 3rd and 10. Burrow's back at the 10, flips it short to his right from Mixon, who gains 5. 276 yards for Joe Burrow. He's going to need another 5 to keep the Bengals in the game. 1:21 left in the fourth quarter. We have 4th down and 5. It all comes down to this. 1 stop and the Rams are Super Bowl champions. Here we go. Joe Burrow's back at the 15-yard line. He looks and throws towards the sideline and is out of bounds. Intended for Boyd, he is shoved out of the 40. Cam Akers hasn't done much in the second half, but the offense has shined even with his absence. And the Rams are Super Bowl champions for the first time since 1999. An incredible year by Sean McVay, where the Rams bring in Matthew Stafford in a trade and free agency. And even though people were pegging McVay and Stafford in the Super Bowl conversation, there still was left all sorts of skepticism, because while we've seen something like that happen before, it is few and far in between, and they had some juggernauts to get past. Now, they didn't play Green Bay in the postseason, but the Rams certainly knew what was looming for them in the NFC. Tampa Bay, Green Bay, and even to a lesser degree San Francisco, who they met in the NFC title. What a resilient bunch this was. They brought in some reinforcements at the trade deadline and put together a Super Bowl run for the first time in over 2 decades. Sean McVay, for the first time, is a Super Bowl champion as head coach. What a incredible run for the former commander in Sean McVay. That'll do it for the Rams, who outlast the Bengals. They take it away 4 times. Cooper Kupp was incredible. And now all that remains in this drama is who wins Super Bowl MVP. Rams 34, Bengals 24. Los Angeles is Super Bowl 56 champions. Matthew Stafford has done it. He climbs the mountaintop after a frustrating stint with the Detroit Lions. What a turnaround it's been for him and the Rams as a whole. They have completely rewrited the script. That is Matthew Stafford, who wasn't told is a winner. Odell Beckham, who is heavily scrutinized with his antics on the boat prior to the Giants' playoff game. Also, Von Miller does it again, another Super Bowl championship for him as linebacker. Aaron Donald gets over the mountaintop. And none bigger as a story than the man who was heavily scrutinized for a dozen years in Detroit. He is now a Super Bowl MVP. That is former first overall pick and now a Ram legend, Matthew Stafford. Joe Burrow threw for a hat trick tonight. He was a terrific part of the Bengals who stayed alive in this one. But Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and the Rams were just a little bit better. That's it. Here from SoFi Stadium in LA, the Rams are Super Bowl 56 champions. Make sure to enjoy the real game coming up in just over a week. For the rest of our crew, I'm Nick Rice. Thanks so much for watching Super Bowl 56 on EA Sports. Good night.